Emily always
Anyway.
laughs at me when I sneeze.
That is funny when you sneeze.
I sneeze a lot.
It almost like also seems like when you sneeze, like it's startling, but it also seems like it startles you because you're like, woo!
Me?
Yeah.
You're talking about, you remember when I sneeze?
Yeah.
My sneezes are that memorable.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's like, I can't even call it a dad sneeze because, a dad sneeze is just like, wow, like really loud. But yours is like,
I do
it's
like,
just like
7 or 8 sneezes.
Yeah. But they're
like attacks me.
You kind of like vocalize when you sneeze too because you're like, ah. Like there's like a noise to it.
How do you know this?
Because I know you.
Welcome to Friends on Purpose,
Where two friends talk about life, love,
and finding purpose.
Update on my knee, my resprain.
Yeah. What did Melvin have to say?
I went to Brad and did my knee PT, and he was like, I was like, oh, I feel really bad. I have to tell you this thing. He was like, just don't do that again. And I was like, yeah, Brad, I know.
It sounds like my dad. Whenever we would hurt ourselves, like I'd hit our head or like do something, and we'd be like, as kids, like, start crying. He's like, ow, 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 ow. Such a good impression. No, he would be like, oh, he would get mad with us, like, why'd you do that?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Except it wasn't funny because I was like, I can't believe we're at square one. And he was like, no, we're at square 2. And I was like, cool, Brad. All right.
Yeah, so take it easy this summer, would you?
I will. It's going to be okay. I don't have to have surgery or anything, but like.
You hurt your foot too, didn't you?
I did. An entire row of chairs. I don't want to say this out loud because my partner will be like, but I am a little bit accident prone. I'm a little clumsy. Like I move fast, I like fall a lot. I have weak ankles. And so my partner's always like, you like be careful. And I'm like, don't say I'm okay. Like I'm gonna be fine. You don't have to worry about me. And then I like
so clumsy.
I know. And then I like really messed myself up. One time I just like stepped wrong off the deck, kind of like when you jumped off the deck. And I like rolled my ankle and I was like, oh, and she was like, what am I supposed to do? I just like.
Of course she laughs when you hurt yourself.
I know. Well, she just laughs. I know. And I'm okay. But I'm like not as elastic as I used to be, as we discussed in our aging episode.
Yeah.
So. Should we get into it?
I think we should.
You have to go first.
So today, okay, that's fine. Today we are doing our little TED Talks with a theme in history, right?
Yep.
Okay.
No, I'm like, it was supposed to be tuna fish. What did you do?
Oh, shoot.
Oh, no. I did the history of... Okay.
So thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Already.
I'm titling this Humanity's Loudest Cultural Achievement. Elaine.
Is it air conditioning?
No.
Oh, okay.
Before I begin,
yeah,
I'd like to ask a question. And the question is, what is the most powerful sound in human history? Is it the first spoken word? A crack of a rifle? Ringing of church bells? The roar of a rocket leaving Earth? These are all good guesses. But I have to say that they're all wrong. Yes, that's because the correct answer, every time, is the Scottish Highland Bagpipes.
I should have known.
So tonight I have the historical evidence to prove it. And that is
I'm ready.
Simply what I'd like to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
And I realize that, that claim may sound ridiculous, and to be fair, it is.
Yeah.
But the more I research the history of the Great Highland Bagpipe, the more I fall in love. But this time around, I found myself asking a new question, and that was, how did this thing survive? Because if you think about it, human history is full of inventions that have disappeared. People used to wear...
Stop, wait. I can't wait till you hear mine. I want everyone to just remember that history is full
of inventions
that have disappeared.
Okay. To name a few, we used to wear powdered wigs. We employed lamplighters. We had 8-track tapes, MySpace, fax machines.
Muckrakers.
Yes. Yet somehow the bagpipe has survived for thousands of years, essentially unchanged.
Are they still bladders?
And they were never bladders. I'll get that.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So they have not only survived, but they have definitely thrived. People still dedicate their entire lives to learning the bagpipes. Worldwide competitions exist for it. And if you hear one from half a mile away, you instantly know what it is. And to me, that's impressive. Now, here's the thing. I learned way back when I first watched Braveheart, Scotland didn't invent the bagpipes. Most people assume they emerged fully formed from like a Scottish mountain sometime back in 1100. Kind of like haggis and Sean Connery. But bagpipes are actually ancient. Versions of them existed in ancient Greece and ancient Rome and throughout the Middle East and Europe, believe it or not. There's even accounts that suggest that the Roman Emperor Nero may have played a type of bagpipe, which means that somewhere in ancient history, completely unrelated groups of people all independently asked the question, what if we trapped air in an animal skin, not a bladder, animal skin, and we made it make noise?
Yeah.
And many of these
sound kind of like a melodic fart.
Many of these bagpipes were developed independently. It wasn't like they evolved and moved across, to one region to the other. Certainly that there was that, but there's evidence that they developed independently. So it would seem that ancient times, this seemed like a common sense way of making noise.
Yeah.
But by the Middle Ages, bagpipes were everywhere. So Spain had bagpipes, France had bagpipes, Italy had bagpipes, Eastern Europe had bagpipes, everybody had bagpipes. But Scotland...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Scotland looked at all those versions and said, let's make them louder. And that's where you get the Great Highland Bagpipe. That's where we enter the scene, okay?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Were the ones before, because I feel like in my mind or my mind's eye, I can see like smaller versions of bagpipes. Is that like those were proto Highland bagpipes?
Yeah, smaller, quieter. There's a reason why they call them the Great Highland Bagpipe. The Great is actually not
big.
Because they're so majestic, but they are actually large.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you think like medieval, King's Court bagpipes.
Yes, they were
tinier.
Littler.
You'd see the little minstrels playing with the lutes and
Yes.
And they were a little more melodic. Maybe that's not the right word.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah. Okay.
But before we get really into the history, I think it's important to understand exactly what a bagpipe is, like the anatomy, because if you've never really looked at one, I think most people think they're just wind instruments, which, while that's not entirely inaccurate, it does leave out some important details. So most wind instruments work the same way. You blow and sound happens, and you stop blowing and sound stops. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. But the bagpipe looked at kind of that system and says, what if we stopped the stopping? So bagpipe has 4 main parts. The first is the bag itself, traditionally made from animal hide. So it's made from hide sewn together to create a bag that can hold air.
Right.
And this acts as kind of like a storage tank for air. You blow into it and you blow it up. Essentially, it's like an external extra set of lungs. And you blow into that to blow it up like a balloon, and then you squeeze it with your arm to force air out into the second part called the chanter. And that's where the melody comes from. And so instead of blowing air from your lungs into the instrument directly, you're blowing air into the instrument through the bag. And so what you're blowing is into the bag is blowing into the chanter. So essentially you can create constant sound.
Which is why sometimes when there's not music going, all you hear is like, because that's like slow air release into the chanter, but without any.
And that leads to the third part of the piper, which is the drones. So the drones, so the chanter is where the melody comes from. The drones are the long pipes sticking up over the piper's shoulder. Yeah. And there's usually like 4 or 5 of them, I think. And they play continuous notes the entire time. Like they never stop.
Right.
Ever. And they just sit there creating that famous background hum.
Yeah.
Or that drone.
Yeah.
So while a flute player is constantly managing breath, a piper is essentially operating like a small pneumatic system.
Seems a little bit like related to an accordion, where you blow the air comes in by expanding the accordion, but there's noise
like an external
also,
diaphragm. Yeah.
Right, and then but the melody comes from the keyboard, and But that's like more like harmonica. Anyway, cool.
The fourth part or parts of the bagpipes is the reed. So there is a reed that air blows over and it vibrates and it creates that distinct bagpipe noise.
So the reed has nothing to do with your mouth. No blowing over the reed.
No,
that's
it sits inside the pipes.
Okay.
And so when the air blows over it, it vibrates and creates that noise. And so that's why bagpipes sound so different from everything else. You know, they never go silent. They never take a breath. They just keep playing, which, you know, for being honest, that's a very Scottish approach to music.
Well, and I mean, that's making me think that, like, of course I feel moved to tears with lots of different music, but probably not any one instrument. But when a bagpipe plays, you're like, it's almost like it feels sacred.
Well, we'll get into that.
Okay.
We'll get into that. So this form of instrument and this design turned out to be incredibly useful in the Highlands. The Highlands is rugged country, deep glens, steep hills, long distances between settlements. Before telephones, radios, and even like reliable roads, sound mattered. And a loud instrument could carry astonishing distances, and so pipers played for gatherings, celebrations, weddings, funerals, clan events, important announcements, and in many ways, the pipes acted like an audible town square.
Sure.
And if you heard them, something important was happening. You know?
Oh shit, we gotta go.
To be clear, they weren't like the medieval equivalent to texting. Nobody was playing like, oh, I'm running 20 minutes late, save me some stew.
It's not Morse code.
Right.
Yeah.
But the sound itself communicated something important, like come here, pay attention, our people are gathering.
Yeah. Like a church bell.
Yeah. But it could be even more specific than that. It wasn't just saying come to church. It could be saying war is starting over here, or it could be saying somebody of this clan just died. And for Highlanders who are mainly sheep farmers or cattle drivers, they would be out in the wilderness for months. So being able to hear something from town and knowing that something's up,
helpful.
They were used for that.
Yeah.
So the instrument itself has exactly one volume, which is loud.
Yeah, 11
There's
out of
no
10.
variation. There's no variation. There's no dolce, there's no like playing softly and then playing loudly like you would with other instruments. The bagpipes, they go to 11 and stay at 11. And so I don't know, have you ever been next to bagpipes?
Oh,
when they're
yeah.
playing? Yeah. You can't hear yourself think.
Yeah, no.
The Scottish contribution to bagpipe history, really, they own it now. It cannot be overstated. Like other cultures made bagpipes, Scotland made bagpipes a lifestyle.
Right.
And so the Great Highland Bagpipe is bigger, it's louder, it's more dramatic. It's basically the lifted pickup truck of musical instruments.
Yeah, it's got the hubcaps are spinning. There's LED lights around the license plate.
Right. Bagpipes can, on average, sustain 100 decibels.
Holy fajoli.
Often peaking at 110 to 115 decibels. The only other instrument that can do that is a pipe organ, and you need an entire church building to play those.
Yeah.
And so 100 decibels is about as loud as like a Harley or like a beefy chainsaw.
Yeah.
Which means somewhere along the way, Scots accidentally invented the world's first musical power tool.
Yeah. You should have earplugs in when you're around them.
For sure. If you're practicing, I think that's actually something they recommend. And to practice in short spurts,
Yeah.
You ever your Apple Watch ever go off and say, "Hey, you've been listening to music for too loud for too long." It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so for Highland clans, the pipes became more than just entertainment, right? So like they became identity. A piper wasn't just a musician. He carried stories, and this gets in kind of the sacred meaning behind it all. The tunes kept traditions, told stories of history. It was a way of, they passed their history down orally, but they were also passing their history down through bagpipe. The sound of the pipes really meant something, and it told people like, these are our people. It became a cultural identity. In fact, some clans employed hereditary pipers, like entire families spent generations serving the same clan.
Wow.
To keep their history.
Wow.
One of the most famous of those families was the McCrimmon family of Isle of Skye, who trained elite pipers for centuries. And they were basically kind of the Harvard of bagpipes.
It's so interesting, like that, did that come first before like clan identity with like the coat of arms and the kilt and the like it's like so very intertwined.
All of that kind of happened together. I'll get into it a little bit later here, but like tartans in particular came later.
Okay. So bagpipes were first.
Bagpipes were definitely first. Bagpipes were the original. Bagpipes have been around for 2,000 years. The Scottish bagpipes probably about 1,000.
Okay.
They even developed their own classical music tradition called the pibroch, and it's funny. This word is spelled Piobaireachd, but it's pronounced pibroch.
Pibroch. Cool.
Pibroch, which is really an elevated like sophistication of tunes. These are more than just drinking songs. It's more than just national anthems. It's like,
song.
It's a classical form, a skillful,
mastery
skill.
of
mastery.
It's like a mastery of the instrument. Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
And they were like long, complex pieces written in honor of chiefs, remembering battles, mourn deaths, preserve important events. Again, a way of telling your history and remembering your history from one generation to the next. In a culture where much history was passed down orally, the music itself became a record of the past. Yeah, so there you have it. Which brings us to one of the most important moments in Scottish history, the Battle of Culloden in 1746.
Mm-hmm.
Culloden marked the final defeat of the Jacobite uprising against England.
I have watched Outlander. I know.
Yeah, if you've seen Outlander, you know. And forever changed the Highlands. I mean, this was kind of a turning point in the worst way for the Scottish Highlands. The aftermath saw major efforts to dismantle the Highland culture. Essentially, England wanted to erase their way of life, like for good. They wanted to just wipe them off the map.
And they did for a while.
Yeah, not through genocide, but certainly making them forget who they are. That was their goal. Although that might be arguable. I'm not really sure. But like, clan authority weekend, kilts and tartans were banned. Old ways of life came under pressure. The Scottish Gaelic language and music was fading, and the bagpipes were at the top of the list. In fact, bagpipes were so closely associated with Highland identity that some people even argued they were considered instruments of war. So they're like next to weapons. They were banning them because that's how effective they were. They influential in rallying, in organizing, rallying armies, but also like the hearts and minds of the people. Like that's how close to home they were. Yeah. And that's really where that kind of sacredness, that special, like, and you feel it, like, even if you're not Scottish. I mean, I don't know if you've ever had the experience of sitting in front of like a literal parade of bagpipes in person. It's intense. And so, I mean, that's where that feeling comes in. So the bagpipe was banned, apparently too Scottish to be trusted. And just when things looked uncertain, Scotland got an unexpected ally, and that ally was Queen Victoria. And so she visited Scotland, and this was, Queen Victoria, British Empire, super influential in cultures across the world. I didn't look this up before, but I kind of think she's the one who influenced wearing a white dress at your wedding.
Oh, for your wedding.
Yeah. So she had like a lot of these cultural influences. And so she visited Scotland. She loved it. She bought into the whole like Highlands aesthetic. And because she was queen, suddenly everyone else thought Scotland was cool too.
Everyone's like, these bagpipes are the bee's knees. Are we right? We loved them the whole time.
I mean, that's kind of what it came down to. And so there was this revival, and things like kilts and tartans and bagpipes all were able to come back and
please forgive
be celebrated again.
Queen Victoria, give me a century here.
1800s.
Yeah, okay, so. And so we went we're a couple hundred years, like a century has passed, and she's like,
Correct.
So stuff has simmered a little.
Yes. So about a little over 100 years, I believe, has passed since they were outlawed.
Okay.
And so that's what, 2 generations?
Yeah, about.
Yeah. So it's basically everything. All of these things are in your grandfather's closet, and you you wonder what they are. And so it began history's greatest rebranding campaign, really.
Except for haggis.
Except for haggis. Haggis is, I mean, it's good in the right context.
I don't agree. That's like, oh my God, have you had Vegemite? It's amazing.
I've never tried Vegemite. Yeah, so Queen Victoria, huge supporter, did wonders for Scotland's identity. Then came World War I and World War II. The invention of the machine guns, artillery, aircraft, modern war tactics.
Blech.
Scotland's contribution was what?
Bagpipes.
Huh. A soldier named Bill Millen arrived at Normandy, D-Day, one of the most important military operations in history, right? Yeah. Thousands of soldiers storming the beaches, and among them is this 21-year-old Scotsman carrying not ammunition, not a radio, bagpipes. And so it's interesting. So because bagpipes were a regular part of warfare, during Culloden, certainly.
Yeah.
With modern warfare, they brought them to World War I, and they lost so many bagpipers because of the new way of fighting. Mm-hmm. It wasn't you just line up and shoot each other,
Right.
There was
like
it was
more
different
guerrilla
tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Military regulations discouraged pipers from advancing into battle because so many had been killed in World War I. And Millen pointed this out to his commander. His commander's Lord Lovett. Lovett reportedly replied, and I quote, "That's the English War Office. You and I are Scottish." And so he was making no exceptions. So Millen stepped onto Sword Beach during D-Day and played the bagpipes while the troops advanced. So
wow.
if you think about it, like,
I can't
if you've
even
seen
imagine.
Saving Private Ryan, they're all,
of course.
He's out there with no firearm, only his pipes
wow.
and his kilt.
Wow.
And years later, German soldiers reportedly claimed that they saw him and chose not to shoot him because they assumed he was insane. And honestly, it's like, fair enough.
I have
mean,
chills.
walking to that. Yeah.
Whoa.
And so they spared his life because they didn't deem him as a threat. But the threat was morale. And that's what the bagpipes do during times of war and times of battle, is they amp you up. They whatever it is, whether it's the history and that sacredness built in, it does something for your soldiers. So like after Culloden, parts of Highland culture were suppressed, right? Mm-hmm. And about a century later, the British Army embraced the Highland Regiment and helped spread bagpipes all over the world.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's like they welcomed Scotland back in. And because it's like the height of the British Empire, they spread like the Highland bagpipes far and wide. So they ended up in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, India, Africa, essentially just the U.S., just about every continent.
Wow.
And the bagpipes became like this global phenomenon, which is not how you would expect this story to go, to where like almost dead to now global.
Well, it almost speaks to it was like this ubiquitous thing. Scotland owned it. It got squelched. And then everyone was like, oh shit, we kind of need that. And then it became ubiquitous again. It was, that's how powerful
it's just so interesting to me. It's like the power of it would have that much impact. But yeah, today there are pipe bands on every Scottish pipe bands, whether you're Scottish or not. Yeah. On just about every continent, and every year, thousands of musicians gather to compete in the World Pipe Band Championships.
Super cool.
Yeah. So
blow your eardrums out.
Yeah. Yeah. People dedicate decades to mastering this instrument that was already ancient when Shakespeare was alive, right?
Yes, right.
And meanwhile, our phones are like obsolete every 18 months.
And
the bagpipe's been running on its same operating system for centuries.
So what do they make the today bags out of? Synthetic?
I believe it's a Gore-Tex. They still do make them out of animal hide, but I think those are very temperamental to temperature.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. To temperature. So you actually have to tune your drones.
Right.
There's a way to like fine tune them to the proper note. but I forget what the material, it's a synthetic material for the pipes itself. But essentially, I mean, the mechanics of it,
the design is unchanged.
The design of it has remained entirely unchanged. Like no updates, no redesign. There's no, it's been perfect for centuries.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And, so like after all of this, like, starting from ancient Greece, Rome, Highland clans, Culloden, D-Day, the bagpipe is still doing exactly what it was designed to do. And I mentioned last episode about the World Cup, the Great American Sleepover.
Yeah, the Boston, yeah.
The Scottish fans flooding the streets of Boston, pubs, stadiums. Like they totally blew up Fenway watching baseball, so they're not just in the World Cup stadiums.
Yeah.
I wish I was there.
That's awesome.
Like that would be so fun. Every time I see it on TikTok, you can hear the pipes in the background, and they're just doing what bagpipes do, bringing people together. And I just think that's the coolest thing ever.
You're such a nerd, and I love that. I agree. I mean, it's really emotional when you hear it. You're just like,
yeah.
Whoa.
Let's get to trivia.
Okay, okay.
This is
I love
Vocab Owl
trivia
edition.
This is who's smarter trivia.
We both know who's smarter.
It's Emily.
I should have her do it. Oh, yeah. I should have had her do it.
Yeah, duh.
No. All right.
She'll crush us.
Yeah, she definitely would.
All right, explain what it is.
Okay, so I first caught wind of this website from a different podcast, one that I've really been enjoying called The Rest is Science with Michael Stevens and Hannah Fry. Okay. Two big nerds, internet nerds. Yeah. Hannah Fry, I think, is an Oxford professor. Michael Fry is the host of Vsauce, professional YouTube nerd. They were talking about vocabulary and how many words the average English speaker knows. Yep. And so they wanted to put their knowledge to the test. And so they went to a website called Vocab Owl, which is essentially a 100-question test asking you what words mean in multiple choice, and you have to choose the right one. And essentially, it breaks it down for you. Like if you know this word, then it presumes a slew of words related to it, And so it starts with core basics, goes to intermediate, advanced, expert, and then grandmaster. And so it gets harder and harder the further you go along. But in the end, you find out approximately how many words you know. Of the English language. And so we took that test, and we wanted to compare our results, or at least see each other's results. I don't know that we need to compare necessarily, but
I definitely want to compare.
We both know you're smarter than me, certainly more educated.
My parents paid a lot more for my education than yours.
My parents didn't pay anything.
There we go. Well, first, before we go to our results, how did you feel while you were taking the little quiz? 100 questions.
I felt good at first. Like, maybe I'm smarter than I think I am.
With core basics, you were like, yeah, I know what stop is.
Yeah. But even into intermediate, and then I got into advanced. And it was like, okay, this is starting to be more challenging. But I think it was when I hit expert that I started guessing, like making educated guesses based on the breakdown of the words, Greek or Latin or, other words that might have similar, I don't know what you call those, combination of letters.
I don't know.
Etymology?
I don't know.
Yeah. And so I definitely got a few that way. Like I didn't know what they meant, but I was able to deduce, what they meant according to, how they were spelled, much like you would in a spelling bee.
Right.
So I feel good about what I did. It feels like it's what I expected.
All right, let's hear it.
So I got I don't know. I want to hear yours first.
Well, I want to hear it.
How did you think you did before, I say?
Well, I love vocab quizzes. And so I was just like, yeah. I was like, bah, 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 bah. And I got to expert and I was like, whoa, pump the brakes, Harvey. Because I like got one wrong and I was like, no. And then I was like, oh no.
Yeah, okay.
Because I thought the point
was
was
your
to
first
get
one wrong in expert?
Well, I can tell you what each one was. Weirdly, I got one wrong in core basics, and that was a mistake on like me plucking it wrong.
I did the same thing.
So it was like 19 out of 20, 20 out of 20. And then into advanced, it was 19 out of 20. And then with expert, it was dropped to 17 out of 20. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to be a loser. So, so I got a little stressed about that. But then I was just like, then I slowed down, and then I was similarly kind of like trying to break down the words, and it was just really fun. I love vocab.
Yeah. Okay. So I got 57,500 words.
Okay.
So core basics, I missed one that I shouldn't have. I just hit the wrong button. Intermediate, I've got 19 out of 20. Advanced, I got 13 out of 20. Expert, I got 14. And then Grandmaster, I got 12.
Okay. I did, once I got to advanced, I got 18. At expert, I got 17, and Grandmaster, I got 17. So I got 77. This is the first time. This is the first time I took it. 77,100.
Yeah. Okay.
What was
so you're up there with Hannah Fry and Michael Stevens?
Am I? What was there? Yeah. So it said, unbelievable. Are you actually Stephen Fry in disguise? That's what the little thing said. And I was like,
that's what I have. That's what I have too.
Like,
so that must just be a.
Oh, okay. I was like, who's
Stephen Fry? Is like the British comedian.
Yeah.
Like...
Oh no, I thought Stephen Fry was the guy. He's not a comedian. He's just an actor, and he wrote those books about the Greek gods. He's like a real nerdy, smart dude.
Yeah.
So anyway, I liked that quiz a lot. But then I was like, wait, why are we taking this? So it was like the average native English speaker knows like 30,000 words.
Oh, okay. So I'm above average. I'm
like, my gosh, by a
twice
lot.
As much. Okay.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting.
It says lifetime words mastered at the bottom, and it says 77. I think that's 77 out of the 100.
Yeah, mine said.
So that means I got like a C+. Which is not great.
Mine said you mastered, what did it say, 90? Oh, mine said you lifetime words mastered, 91. Right.
Yeah, so you got an A.
But I don't think that, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
But that
Maybe
means
that's probably not a good qualifier.
It's not, because it means that the average person is getting an F.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So that does. Anyway, I thought it was really fun, and some of the words.
I'm going to give it to Emily, and I'm going to give it to Emily.
Yeah, I want to know what
we'll give her score next episode.
Only if it's lower than ours.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you get the second time you took it?
81.
Okay.
But there were 2 words that were repeats, but the rest weren't. But then I was like feeling really.
It's
competitive.
a different quiz every time.
Yes. Yeah. So I was feeling competitive, and I was like, I'm going to get these right. But it was fun. There were some really great vocab words. I like the first time one of the words I got wrong was hubris, and I was like, I know what that means.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. I just clicked it wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really fun, and it made me think about how much my grandma. She used such a diversity of vocabulary, and I feel like our current like 2026 language, or like anything from like the 2000s on, we've been trying to like shorthand stuff, and like everything from say it more directly, say it more clearly, abbreviate it. Like, we're not going to say, oh my God, you made me laugh out loud. We're going to say LOL. And so it was like fun to see the richness of language when we had maybe more time to flex into it.
I remember like in high school, there was a certain group of teachers who would actually play with new words. So you could tell when they all learned a new word, they would try to use it. And that to me was like, that's cool. You know, like you're like in this little community of like trying to expand your vocabulary. Like I remember like facetious they were constantly using that word.
And that was one of the ones I got on the quiz. It was like facetious. I was like, oh, I haven't thought about that in a while.
So definitely, you know, who you're surrounded with definitely, I think,
and that like
adds to your knowledge.
Crepuscular, I hadn't thought about it, but I remembered it, like hearing it, and someone was like, it means like it means dusk, and I was like, how do you know that? Like, but then it stuck in my head. What's the word? Cool. What's
penultimate?
Yes, second to last.
yes, I like that one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we will leave the link to this quiz in the description. So if your listeners want to try
take it and
yourself.
Find out if you're as cool and smart as these two.
Our listeners will probably
score highly.
Quite highly. Yeah, I would.
If you're taking the time to listen to this boring ass podcast, you're going to do just fine.
You're going to do just fine.
Tell you what. Hey friends, if you're enjoying this podcast, could you leave us a rating and review? It doesn't have to be long, but just a few words and or heart emojis. It helps more people discover the show. And friendship, as it turns out, grows better with a good review. If you've already left a review, thanks. You're doing the quiet, heroic work of helping the algorithm believe in friendship. Eric.
I'm so excited.
I'm starting very specifically ripping off of all TED Talks, so just so you know. I don't think this is original. Eric, what if I told you that the most sophisticated piece of technology from the ancient world, a device so advanced it had no equal for 1,400 years, was discovered by a sponge diver who thought it was a rock? This is a story about a machine that proves everything we think we know about ancient intelligence is wrong. And it's a story about what happens when the official version of history simply doesn't have room for the truth. Welcome to my TED Talk. We're going to dive deep.
Hey.
It's the spring of 1900. 1900, not wait for it. It's the spring of 1900, okay? That is
the blue blood
turn
of the
century.
Crab?
No, although that is important. A group of Greek nationals, they're diving off an island near they were crossing the Aegean Sea. They're on their way to Tunisia. They get caught in a storm. They're like, we got to chill out because it's so the sea is so rough. They land on an island called Antikythera. It's just a little speck of an island in the Aegean Sea. They shelter. They wait for calmer water. And while they wait, they do what they do. They dive for sponges, literal sea sponges. These are just working dudes, right? One of the divers, he dives about 45 meters. So, but what is that? Wow. I don't know. Like, it's like more than 100 feet. I'm terrible at math, but I just realized
is a meter more than a yard?
Yeah. I think, yeah. Can you Google this for me? I don't know. How long is it? 45 meters. No, it's like 120 feet, I think. This is really important. The metric system is so good and we're so bad.
147.6.
Oh, okay. So it's like 150 feet.
He dives?
He dives in 1900. Okay. Yeah. So like, whoa.
Just a free dive?
No, I think they had like rudimentary breathing devices.
Sponges.
He sees something strange. He sees bronze arms reaching up from the sand. He swims his little booty back up and he's like, Captain, my captain. Oh my God, there's something down there. Two of them dive down and what they find is a Roman era shipwreck. So it was a cargo vessel that probably sank around 65 BC.
Okay.
It was loaded up. Familiar. It was loaded up with like life size, larger than life size, like 7-foot bronze statues, sculptures, artifacts. that would those artifacts alone would help us understand Hellenistic antiquity. Like people were like, "Oh my God, this is amazing! It was so well preserved."
Yep.
But among one of the things they brought up is this corroded lump of bronze. They thought it was maybe just scrap. It's about the size of a shoebox. It looks kind of like a rock because it's so, the sea had done its job on it. And it sits in a crate with the salvage from this wreck for months, kind of ignored because they had so much to look through. So about 2 years later, a Greek archaeologist is walking through a workroom at the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, and he sees this lump that had been tagged but like hadn't been thought about in a while, and he looks at it and he was like, "Is that a gear?" And that lump with the gear is what we're going to be talking about today. It's called the Antikythera Mechanism.
Okay.
What is it?
What is it, Elaine?
Let me tell you, Eric. This shoebox-sized bronze lump has a hand crank on the side. That the cranking, the handle has long been lost to the ocean, but they figured out a way to get the crank mechanism going. As you turn it, a system of interlocking bronze gears, no fewer than 30 different gears, but because of the corrosion, they're like, it could have been more, but let's just say 30 to be safe. Set an entire display in motion. And on the front of the box is a display, and that has a display set against a background that represents the sky. And what you can see...
It is a watch.
It is a watch. And
Holy
what you
cow.
can see is where the sun is in the zodiac on any given day, where the moon is and what phase it's in, where all five at the time known planets are, what Greek calendar festival is coming, including the Olympics. So it's like here's all these things. And on the back, 2 large dials track much longer astronomical cycles, including a 19-year cycle that reconciles the solar and lunar cycles, and then also a 223-month.
So it's like a super clock.
It is classified, Eric, as a computer.
Yeah.
So it tracks this
because it's doing the natural cycles, but then like the festival.
But it can also layer in, human,
like a calendar.
Yes. So you want to know when the next lunar eclipse is? Like, no big deal. Just crank the wheel, and you'll see. You turn the crank.
Wow.
The mechanism tells you this device is from 100 BCE. So for context,
so was there technology? Like, was
no. This is 100 BCE. So for context, mechanical clockwork, of comparable complexity doesn't appear again in human history until the 14th century. That's 1,400 years.
Wow.
1,400 years in between this technology. So
and this is Roman.
This is Rome. This is Roman. Yes.
The Romans were so cool.
I mean, come on. So here's where things get a little frustrating, right? So the gear inside the lump, we said it was 1902. The scholars examine it, and they were like, everyone's kind of like, what should we do with this? And everyone was like, nothing. Because the prevailing view among historians was that ancient Greeks just simply couldn't have made something this sophisticated. It's not possible. Technology didn't fit those historians' mental model of what ancients could do. It was set aside. It was put in the Athens Museum for a long time, and people knew it was interesting. They're kind of like, what's that weird box? But nobody really studied it. So flash forward to the late 50s, and a British physicist...
That long?
1950s, a British physicist and a historian kind of became really fixated on it. They became obsessed. This physicist, Derek de Sala Prince, he dedicated his entire academic life to study it. He got the first X-rays of it. So 1974, Okay, so
Jesus.
he starts studying it in the 50s.
Another 25 years.
25 years later,
Good God.
he publishes a 70-page white paper, like a research paper, called Gears from the Greeks, that showed definitively that this was an astronomical calculating machine of stunning sophistication. And he was like, this is it. Finally, people are going to get it. I've laid it all out. And
they
didn't. And why? Because, and this is a fun angle for us, Eric von Däniken, he's another scientist who had at the same time released a book called Chariots of the Gods, claiming that the mechanism was alien technology.
Oh,
so
brother.
he's fallen into the category of like, there's no way the Greeks could have done this. This is aliens. And so nobody wanted to touch it, right? They were like, no, we don't want to study this because it puts us next to this guy who's talking about aliens.
Right.
So, okay, take a little stab. When do you think this resurfaces for us in history? So we're at 1974. How long before it comes back up?
Another 25 years.
In 2006.
90. Oh, my God.
A team used CT scanning to find...
Is that 100 years from when it was discovered?
1902. So, yeah. Basically 104 years.
Yeah.
So so first, they did they visually inspect it, then they do the x-rays. And so now in 2006, they do a CT scan. And what they find is that there's inscriptions. Again, remember, this whole thing is they so they can't really take it apart. They can't lay it all out because it's all just, so they want to be really careful with it. Do a CT scan. They can, with the CT scan, they can read the hidden inscriptions inside of this corroded box. And what they find now means that we understand what the Antikythera mechanism actually is saying. So on the back cover of the mechanism, so essentially like the instructions manual, like if you opened it, you'd be like, what is this thing? If it weren't corroded, it says that it basically, it was described in Latin as a planetarium. And each planet is marked, and the whole thing is a working model of the. We said Roman. It's Greek. I'm so sorry. It's Greek. It's Hellenistic. Blah.
Gotcha. Right.
So we were saying like Roman era. Yeah. So anyway, It's a Greek understanding of the universe.
The Greeks are cool too.
No, they're great. They're great. I love them. I honestly, really love them. So they see this inscription. They understand that they're like, oh, it is a guide to the skies. Then, as recent as 2021, a team of researchers at the University College London, mechanical engineers, historians, imaging specialists, all three together, that whole group published the most complete reconstruction ever attempted. They finally kind of figure out the front display, and the front display is the part that has
reconstructing the original.
Mm-hmm. It's like the part that has remained most elusive. And what they found was described as a beautiful conception translated by superb engineering into a device of genius. So the front face shows an entire exact replica of ancient Greek cosmos. 5 planets, the sun, the moon, significant solar points like stars, moving in real time as you turn the crank. So like you said, it's a clock. A geocentric model of the universe built from both Babylonian astronomy and mathematics that were developed at Plato's Academy. It's literally like cutting edge technology.
So what did they use it for?
So, I will kind of, they used it, well, this gets to the question. Why is there one? Why haven't we seen more of these?
Right.
So,
yeah.
So there's exactly one of them. No others have ever been found. There's no workship where we've ever been like, oh, there's parts that make sense.
Or illustrations or blueprints.
It's like someone like 1,000 years ago was like, here's one smartphone.
iPhone. Yeah.
And you'll never see it again.
The answer is aliens.
Obviously aliens. We don't know what happened. I mean, obviously there was a
time traveler.
Could have been very outlandery. The library in Alexandria burned down, and we know that there were like huge stores of important cultural data that was lost there.
Yeah.
Did Romans come and ransack the whole thing and was like, "Fuck you guys, you can't have this cool technology"? Like, did this amazing feat die with a couple of craftsmen? Like, maybe it was just like such a hobby and an obsession of someone. Like, we really don't know. But what we know is that it's like
found it is insane.
Yeah, it's so amazing, and it's such a it's a tale as old as time in history. That's just like, they couldn't possibly have been able to build a pyramid without the aliens. Agriculture, not until the 1800s, my friends. So, it fits into our like very limited understanding of what the people of the past could do. So, it's not just this mechanism. This box isn't just a anomaly. It fits into context much larger, but it really makes you think about like people being so obsessed with like the simplicity of the past. And it's just like this random chance thing. These people diving for sponges were like, what the heck is this? And it blew open our understanding of the ancients and how we, I don't know, like how we tell our own stories.
Yeah.
And like maybe, I mean, it got me really spinning. I'm like, can you imagine, like, maybe this was commissioned by like a Greek senator or something, and they were like, they brought it onto the floor and they were showing this thing, and people were like, "What the fuck is that? Like, get it out!" Like no to AI data centers, like whatever it was. Like, it just like makes me feel like really connected to peoples of the past, because we're just like constantly in this like, do we want progress or do we want it to stay the same? What's the right, the right gas and brakes? So that is the Antikythera mechanism.
I love it. That's amazing.
It was really crazy.
Are there theories on how they would use it? I mean, is it just simply like a calendar, a keeper of time,
like a
or
really expensive
helping predict
gadget
things? Or
it's like it kind of represents like the culmination of the newest and best integration of information. So it was that Babylonian astronomy plus Plato, whatever. They were like, how do we use this better? And they came up with this thing that probably was like so friggin' expensive and so like unique that they probably didn't have a very good use for it, except that they were like, look, when you crank it, like we put the Olympics in, and people are like, like, we know when the Olympics are. Like but it was like more of a show of their capacity and their ability to synthesize that type of massive amount of information that captured people's imagination.
Literally it's like, a simple computer. I mean,
it is a computer. It's way more of a computer than like people cite. They're like, an abacus is a precursor to the computer. It's like this thing was like a machine
blowing the abacus out of the water.
Totally.
Yeah. No. That's awesome. I love it.
Cool.
Well done.
Yay. I really have to tell you something.
Oh, please do.
I didn't watch any of the movies.
I didn't either. I had no
thank God. It was just it's like 3 nights.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't enough time. This weekend.
I did watch Father of the Bride though.
Did?
I did have time for that.
And he's right.
It's
so too much money for a wedding.
It's an insane amount, but Martin Short,
especially in 1990.
Oh my God, Martin Short as Frank.
Shovel heaven. Now we must discuss the cake. The cake?
The cake,
The cake, George.
The cake. This is a very, very modern cake.
Howard Weinstein.
Who, like,
250 ahead.
No, he's like, it's weird. I thought you said 150 ahead. He's like, oh, no.
No.
250 ahead. And, and like R.I.P. Diane Keaton.
Yeah.
Like,
what's the actress's name? Kimberly. She married Brad Paisley and wrote a book about her mom having Alzheimer's, and I should read it. My sister's always talking about it. It sounds really good.
Kimberly Williams Paisley.
There it is.
Should we splash down?
I mean, we can splash down, but that felt like a pretty good splash down.
Was that it? It was just it. Yeah, I don't have anything else.
I don't really either.
I don't know. Yeah. And we're already at a,
115, 113. Yeah, I think we did it, Elaine.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Should we do it again?
Yes, Elaine. Every time we should do it again. That was a lot of fun.
That was a good one. Okay. Hang it up.
Okay, I'm hanging it up.
Make
Ready?
it stop.
1, 2, 3. Bye.